Hey guys, this is Joe the Computer Geek, and today I'll be sharing my thoughts about Ubuntu 12.04, and I'll be discussing stuff about it. As you can tell right now, I'm in the Ubuntu 12.04 desktop. It is fully updated, except I have to restart my computer due to a kernel update. All the applications are on here are updated through the Ubuntu repository, and all the programs are updated currently. This is the default look of Ubuntu 12.04. What do I think about the look? Well, the look is pretty, I actually like it. It's pretty slick, and it's clean, and it's intuitive, you know? It's easy to use. And the wallpaper is pretty nice. Now let's talk about the wallpapers. The default one is a purple one. I think they've been using this wallpaper for 2 releases now, I'm not sure. But it looks very familiar to the last one on the last distribution, 11.10. So let's go through the wallpapers. You got this one. It's pretty nice. It's okay, kind of boring, I guess. You know, I honestly don't really like some of these wallpapers. It's like this wallpaper, it's like, what point are they trying to bring with this wallpaper? I mean, like, what animal is that? Is that a porcupine? What is it? I don't know. The only wallpapers I really like are the default and this one. It's pretty cool. So, the Ubuntu wallpaper devs, or whatever you'd like to call them, I don't think they did a great job selecting wallpapers for 12.04. That's just Skype reminding me someone just came online. But I don't really like the wallpapers that it came with, to be honest with you. I mean, birds, this is a pretty much boring wallpaper. So far, I've been using Ubuntu for about 3 days now. This is my 3rd day. And everything is going smoothly. I've installed every program I need, such as Skype, Spotify, XChat. Pretty much everything I need. So by default, the icons will look like this. You have the dash, or whatever you'd like to call it. There's really no name for the menu. Right click it, you get dash home, applications, files and folders, music, and video. You get your home folder right there. That opens up Nautilus 3.4.2. And you got Firefox. That was just a website I was just visiting. But you got Firefox open right there. LibreOffice Writer, Calculator, Impress. Got the Ubuntu Software Center. Let's go over the Software Center. Wait for it to load. Alright, this Software Center, you know, it's been like this for the past 2 releases, 3 releases now. Am I a fan of it? Not really, but it does what it needs to do, you know. I was a huge Synaptic fan, and I'm a Debian fan, so, I prefer Synaptic, but this is pretty cool, to be honest with you. I'm very impressed with how easy it is to install something. You just click it, and you click install. That's basically all you do. It's very easy now to find applications for Linux in Ubuntu. I love how they categorized everything and made it fast to find stuff. Like, here we'll search a bunch of different web browsers. It's pretty cool, you know. Chat softwares. There's just thousands upon thousands of applications to choose from. Very good ones, such as VLC Media Player. And did I mention most of these programs are free? That's pretty cool. There's a bunch of applications to help you, like tools available, such as Gparted. But I am very impressed with what Canonical did with Ubuntu Software Center. Usually in Linux distributions, I like to install my applications using a terminal, the terminal window. Let me open that up for you. Terminal. I usually install my programs such as using sudo apt/get install. It's basically what I do. You know, it's easy to use, it's fast, But since the Ubuntu Software Center is available, I've been installing and uninstalling programs with like one click using the Ubuntu Software Center. Now that is very great. You know why? Because when people want to switch to Linux, or most people are scared to switch to Linux or even try it, they're scared it's going to screw up their computer or something. That's how I was when I was first introduced to Linux. But no, it's very easy to use. In fact, it's probably easier to install programs in Ubuntu than it is in Windows. That's pretty fast. That's pretty awesome. On the Unity toolbar right here, you get the system settings. You have the appearance, brightness, and lock, keyboard layout. Just stuff you would use to customize your system, really. Here on the top, you have the panel, which I'm kind of a fan of. I kind of like it, how everything is organized. I like how it's kind of like a Mac, you know, how you got the view stuff up here, which is pretty nice. I really like that. It's pretty cool. So let's see what else I'm going to talk about today. Stability. Ubuntu 12.04 is pretty stable. Since I've installed it, I've had many updates, probably maybe 100 or so, a little less than that. But so far it's been pretty stable after all these updates. And why I'm talking about stability is because many Linux distributions have stability issues. God, what's the word? Compared to Windows, you know, Windows is pretty stable. I'll say that right now. The app selection of Ubuntu is pretty impressive, you know. It's, well, not really. It's okay, to be honest with you. I've seen better, but I like the programs that come with it. Customization, you just get a bunch of stuff, you know, games, internet. Now, there's some applications on here that I've installed, such as a Chromium web browser, but it does come with Firefox, just like it does in every release. I've installed some programs, as you can tell. I really love Thunderbird. I find myself to use Thunderbird a lot in Linux, which I really love. LibreOffice. A lot of Linux distributions have switched to LibreOffice from OpenOffice. So yeah, as you can tell, it does not come with many applications to begin with. I believe previous versions of Ubuntu have came with more versions before Unity was introduced, which is pretty shocking. Now this is pretty interesting, this backup tool right here. You can back up your files. You know, pretty basic, but it's pretty much a needed tool. You know, if you want to back up your stuff. Graphics, I'm not sure why they don't, why it doesn't come with GIMP. I know Ubuntu did come with GIMP in the past. I don't know why. If you'd like to tell me in the comments below on my website. But I installed Spotify. I'm using the preview right now. And, you know, it's not stable since it's a preview release, but it works, you know? It does what I need to do. The Unity desktop, am I a fan of it? Yes, I love Unity. I absolutely love it. I love this menu. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is when you click on games, let's say you want to open up a game or whatever, then you want to go to the internet. It groups them together. Like, how many are you going to group? It's kind of ridiculous. I wish it would only do one at a time. Or just two, you know? Just group two. Don't do 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 or 8, whatever. How many ever you have installed. Default wallpapers, pretty much covered that. Covered, easy to use. Unity desktop, pretty much covered. You know, Ubuntu is a great desktop, and I love it, and do I think Linux will eventually get most of the market share on desktops? Not yet. Not within 10 years from now, I can guarantee you that. No. No way. Why I say that is because Linux still has a far way to go to make it easy to use and to get people's attention. Recently I've been seeing a lot of Windows applications being imported to Linux, which is great, such as Spotify and Skype. Microsoft now owns Skype. They've owned it for about 4 months now, and you know, they're still developing it for Linux, which is pretty amazing. Ubuntu also influences people to try Linux because of the ease of use and how easy it is to use it, which is pretty cool. Which is not a reason why I like Ubuntu. I usually like Linux distributions because I like learning about Linux when I'm trying to fix something which is hard to fix or hard to use, you know? But Ubuntu is easy to use, and I sometimes forget I'm even using Linux when I'm using Ubuntu, which is kind of hard to explain, really. But what do I think about Ubuntu 12.04? This is a great release. One of my favorite releases yet to date. Why? Because Unity has matured over the years a lot. It's matured a lot. And it's very stable now. I have no bugs so far on this system that I've noticed. It's pretty fast. Now, the only really complaint I complain about Unity, which I don't understand why they have never implemented this, is this. All right, look. You want to open your application up on the Unity bar, right? You click it. You click it again to close it. Bam, doesn't close. What is it doing? Why is it doing this? Why doesn't it close? Doesn't make any sense. Why is this disappearing right here? Why am I disappearing? You should be closing when I click on you. That's one thing I find pretty weird about it. That's about it, you know. So do I recommend Ubuntu? Yes. Do I recommend it to the hardcore Linux guys? If you have liked Ubuntu in the past and you actually like Unity, then yes, I recommend it. If you're a hardcore Linux fan and you love Arch Linux and you love Gentoo Linux or whatever, no. Do I recommend it to newcomers to Linux? Yes, highly. I recommend it over Linux Mint. Why? Because Linux Mint is a community-driven distribution, and Ubuntu is owned by a company called Canonical. I will tell you that later in later videos why I'm not crazy over Linux Mint, but Ubuntu is pretty awesome, you know. Stable, as you can see. You know, just go try Ubuntu. Just go try Ubuntu. Here. Just try Ubuntu, you know, it's a pretty awesome operating system. It's great for servers too, if you're into server stuff. So just go try it. You know, Ubuntu is pretty. I'll say it right there. Ubuntu is pretty amazing, you know. So yeah. Well, during this overview, I found myself to pretty much ramble over random things, so sorry about that. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, and share this on Twitter or whatever, and YouTube too, if this video goes on YouTube. But anyways, thanks for watching. What do I give Linux out of 10 stars? I mean, Ubuntu 12.04, probably 9 stars. You know, it's a really great distribution. It's very stable, and Unity has matured over the years, as I've said in the past. So, yeah. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/thepcgeek. Feel free to email me anytime at computergeek50000@gmail.com. And visit my blog at chatthecomputergeek.com. And I'll see you guys later.